some of them, not all of them, but some of them are rocking that as well. As some of them are getting into their uniforms right now, getting ready. Some of the Eagles also rolled through as well. As that's our game of the week. We're going to talk a lot about that matchup tonight. The Rebels and the Eagles. It's a rematch of a game we saw just a couple of weeks ago, so it should be a lot of fun. We're also going to hear from the head coach of the Eagles, Scott Tomlinson, and a few other important names as well. But, guys, before we jump into some of our big games that we got to preview tonight, let's take a look around our region, zoom out a little bit.
Yeah.
We got a lot of games to cover, but give me a game that you've kind of got your eye on as maybe there's an upset. Maybe there's something brewing there where maybe I don't have a ton of upsets on my board. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be real with you. But
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but there are some very, very good games between some low seeds and high seeds. Show me one where maybe a low seed might have an advantage.
Well, I'll show you one. Maybe the lowest seed of all. How about those Wheelersburg Pirates that went to Barnesville and got it done a week ago in pretty convincing fashion against Barnesville? I got news for you. Wheelersburg Pirates probably going to keep it moving against the Union local Jets, but I'll save that for later. But keep an eye on Pirates tonight.
Yeah, and it almost doesn't even feel like an upset at this point. I think we all three expect the Wheelersburg Pirates to get the victory this weekend. Another matchup that I have my eye on this weekend is another rematch, and Waterford going to Fort Fry and trying to snap the streak that the Cadets have over the Wildcats.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that game pretty in depth because I'm very excited to talk a lot about that game. When you talk about pure, like this game is a rivalry game.
It is.
There are a couple
into
other,
a nice one.
it really has.
That
a couple
Portsmouth Ironton one this
that's
week?
a big rivalry game. Meeting number 135.
Is that
it?
I know. It feels like it could be 200 at this point, and it's getting pretty close. But that game, Fort Fry hosting Waterford, first ever meeting in the playoffs. The teams have played each other 39 plus 8, quick math, 47 times. So meeting number 48 comes in the playoffs. And, of course, the last 17 games have all gone the way of the Cadets, and there is nothing more that the Wildcats of Waterford would like more than to ruin a Fort Fry season and win on their turf in the playoffs. That game's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about that game a little bit later on. We're going to save those lower regions for a little bit later on. Let's zoom out and let's go to Region 11. And this is the heavy hitter region. You've got big boys all over the park. And let's start with the Jackson Ironmen. They've got a very, very difficult matchup. They are playing the Bishop Watterson, another set of Eagles. And the thing about Bishop Watterson is this is not just any Bishop Watterson team. This team is dominant in every sense of the word. These numbers are pretty insane. 42.1 points per game. 6.3 points per game allowed. They've only allowed 69 total points the entire season.
Incredible.
They've only won by less than they won every game by 15 points or more.
Yeah.
They've only scored 40 points or less than 40 points twice. And that was week 1 against a very good Big Nut school who they easily swept aside regardless.
Yeah.
And it was week 6 against Hartley, which was their toughest test of the year. And that game, again, they won by 15 points. 28-13 was the score in that one against the Hartley team that's now eliminated.
Yeah.
So, again, this is such a difficult test for Jackson, right? We talked to Coach Andy Hall on Football Friday Night last week, and, he gave us the quick Spark Note preview, and he said, look, we know we're up against it. We know that we have to play our best football. We're going to have to play a perfect game, but you can never count the Ironmen out. Sure. It doesn't matter. They know that they're not favored tonight. They know, in fact, that most people probably expect them to lose, but the scariest part about that is you're now a team with nothing to lose. So the Jackson Ironmen are going up there, and I think they're going to give it their best shot. Yeah,
they are going to give it their best shot. Andy Hall and the Jackson Ironmen. Bub, you said it best on our show. The Jackson Ironmen aren't going to go on the road and get blown out by Bishop Watterson. Yeah. This has developed into a nice playoff rivalry as well. We've seen these two teams in matchups in the playoffs before, and we haven't seen any blowouts yet, but how about a Jackson squad this time around that's equipped with a Division I running back, Nolan Johnson, FAC Player of the Year named this week. Congrats, big fella. But you've also got Bodie Wolford slinging it, who's arguably the best passing quarterback that Jackson's ever had. Ryan Simetz, who's had one of the best receiving seasons, if not the best in the history of Jackson.
I think it is the best. He's shattered the catch and yards record.
Yeah, and Jacob Allen, the big fella up front, paving the way, a Division I offensive lineman. So Jackson's got firepower as well. A lot of talent. But that said, Bishop Watterson's a different beast. I said last week that Jackson would have to play their best football game against New Philadelphia, but I definitely think that holds true this week.
Yeah.
And Jackson didn't play their best football game against New Philadelphia, in my eyes anyway.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I felt like that was a game that Jackson could have gotten ahead earlier on in the game and really taken that game out of reach early on. But back to Jackson, I mean, they're not unfamiliar to an 8-1 matchup, right? They did take down Cincinnati Withrow in 2004, that Jared Humphreys-led squad. So they do have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of showing up and what kind of Ironman team are we going to see. They got to play a clean game, no turnovers, got to take control of every opportunity that you do have on the offensive end, and take advantage of the size of the defensive line of Bishop Watterson. They are quick, though. They held Warren to minus 16 rushing yards last week. Jackson's going to have a better running attack, but that defensive line for Bishop Watterson is solid.
Well, Ethan mentioned Coach Andy Hall. That might be the decision or the decisive factor in this football game. Coach Hall does a phenomenal job preparing in these instances.
And that's a big reason why I think Jackson has a little bit more of a chance than some people are expecting tonight. I think that they are in a spot where, again, like I said, backs against the wall. No one really expects Jackson to do much tonight.
Yeah,
but I really think this game will be tight. I think that Jackson will keep this close. I don't know if they'll win. We'll talk about that later. But I think that they'll have a little bit more of a shot than people expect.
Sure.
We want to talk about a difficult matchup. Let's go up Route 32, and let's talk about the Athens Bulldogs, who had to take a long trip and are probably there by now already. Yeah, I hope so too. A long bus ride, though, for the Bulldogs as they get set to take on the 10-0 Steubenville Big Red, and these two have some history as well. They've only played each other one time, but it was back in a pretty important year for the Athens Bulldogs. Back in 2014, Joe Burrow was the quarterback that year, and they won 58-42 back in Week 6 of 2014. And when I talked to Coach Nathan White, he mentioned that year, we wanted to schedule big boys. Yeah. We wanted to schedule these difficult opponents so that they were ready for the playoffs. Because, again, they had lost in the regional final the previous 2 years, in 2012 and 2013, Burrow's sophomore and junior seasons. They knew as a senior, they knew how talented they were. They wanted to jump and get out on the front foot, and they did. Well, the rest is history. But a big note for Athens was that last week was their first ever playoff win without number 10 as the quarterback.
Big win for the Dogs.
Yeah, and they got it done over Lyndon McKinley. And really, it was on the back of Leo Martin. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns. That wins you football games, and he is the guy for this Athens squad. 37 catches for 728 yards. That's 19.7 yards per catch, as well as 13 touchdowns. He's the go-to man for Daniel Heitland in that Athens offense.
Yeah, and Athens has been explosive all year. And Athens is really, they're battle-tested, but they're battle-tested in different ways. They've dealt with things internally throughout the year that we haven't really talked about, that their schedule hasn't necessarily reflected, because in the minds of Nathan White and the Athens Bulldogs, it's just next man up, even at the quarterback position where we saw a big change midway through the year. So again, the Athens Bulldogs tested in a lot of ways with the roster, but no test that they've seen on the field is as big as the one that they're going to see tonight against the Steubenville Big Red. Let's just be realistic about that. Athens Bulldogs definitely got to shine in a way that they've not shined all year yet.
Yeah, but if you do think of Steubenville's record against New Philadelphia and that 6-point victory, Athens has a chance to take down New Philadelphia, or at least in my mind they would. So I do feel like they do have at least a chance in this game. But, man, that game last week, they shut down the run. That was something they didn't do against Nelsonville York, and that's something they're going to have to do this week as well.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought up stopping the run. Going to hack Athens. They have 2 very, very good running backs. Kajuan Bryant is the number 4, and this kid, number 7, Jalen Minifield. Let me tell you, I saw him last year in the regional final, Division 4, Region 15, Sheridan versus Steubenville. Great game, by the way, but this kid's scary good. He has burst. He has agility. The vision that I saw this kid he's a senior now. He was a junior last year. The vision that I saw on the field against a great Sheridan front last year. He was quiet, and then boom, he exploded for 2 touchdowns late in the game. It was something where Athens is going to have to be disciplined every single play with these guys, because they're just going to wear you down. Aiden Davis, the quarterback, he's capable with his legs as well, but he could throw. Steubenville has a good balance on offense. It is more run focused, but they can pass the ball with Davis. So look for Athens to, again, like I said, they're going to have to play their best football game of the season. They're really going to have to show out and clean up a lot of the little mistakes that have plagued them these last couple weeks. And again, really going to have to play flawless football if you want to win this game. Couple other, I think those 2 matchups are kind of your almost your upsets.
You could say it.
Your big. They need
your
a big
bigger
one.
spreads.
You need a shocker. These two are much closer, these other two matchups. Let's start with Dover Tri-Valley briefly. The Scotties are great, 11-0.
Yeah.
I believe the only team in the 7-4-0 to actually remain unbeaten. I think in terms of all the teams that are just in the 7-4-0 area code,
Easter
I think a lot of.
Beaver.
Oh, well,
Right
yeah.
Because we're right here standing in.
I was going down my divisions here. I was like, wait, hang
the
on.
second one. I think it's 2. Yeah, because I was thinking about, I'm not going to say that on air. But Tri-Valley are 11-0. Like you said, great offensive weapons there as well. You've got Max Lyle, very capable quarterback. Jaden Wallace, great running back.
Yeah.
And then you've got Keaton Hahn, who had 201 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns last week in their explosion over Carrollton. They had no issues in that game. And now Dover comes to town. We saw Dover last week with what was kind of assumed as an upset against Granville. Granville were down their starting center and their starting quarterback. Big losses for the Blue Aces. And now Dover comes down red hot. They only gave up 135 yards of total offense last week. Yeah. So that's a great matchup on that side of the football.
Yeah, it is. And you mentioned the name Max Lyle. Well, over in Dresden, that's a name you've been able to rely on running the show for quite a while. And he's going to I anticipate that he's going to come ready in this matchup again against the Dover squad. They got a nice win against Granville, but Granville very shorthanded. You mentioned no quarter, no center. That's your interior offensive line, the interior of your offensive line. You know how key that is. Plus, the guy taking the snaps, kind of a big deal too. So again, not an upset of sorts, but it wasn't a fully healthy Granville team. They're going to be completely tested tonight by Max Lyle in Dresden.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have to include Dover in that Jackson and Athens category for upsets this week.
Yeah.
I've got Tri-Valley in a big way this week, but I just want to say Dover and the 3 losses, that's been against quality opponents, and they haven't showed up.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm not leaning for them to show up this week as well. I think they got lucky with the Granville's quarterback being out. It's going to be a very difficult task this week against the Scotties.
Well, you want to talk about the showstopper in the region, it's this game. Licking Valley hosts Bloom-Carroll. These two have playoff history. They saw each other in the 2019 regional final. They saw each other in the 2020 regional semifinal. And Bloom-Carroll, I think, has the best player in the football game in their quarterback, Ethan Thanthanavong. Last week, 198 passing yards, 141 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns, which is a playoff record for Bloom-Carroll, a proud school with a lot of history and tradition.
Yeah.
So this game sets up to be a really, really good contest. Licking Valley is a great school. They're 10-1 on the year. They've got a really good offense from what I heard. My good friend Cade Williamson, my Licking County guy, he always gets me up to speed. He'll be at that game tonight, and I think it's just going to be a battle of offense. We saw last week against Bloom-Carroll in their game against Hartley, there were no punts either way. Yeah. So on one hand, for Bloom-Carroll, you're doing great on offense, but the defense is going to have to tighten up a little bit this week.
Yeah, they're going to have to tighten up. And what a fun game this is in the northern part of the 7-4-0. The Bulldogs, I anticipate, though, going to be ready coming into this football game on the road. And it does feel like they're going to have the best player on the field taking the snaps. And that advantage goes to the team with the best player with the football in his hands more often than not in the playoffs, but they're going to have to go on the road and do it against the Licking Valley Panthers, as we are waved to by Neil Lice, the former superintendent here down at Eastern Beaver. Love that opportunity, but again, they're going to have to go on the road and prove something in a big way, but I think they're up for the task, are the Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. And why wouldn't they be? They played 7 playoff opponents this year and already had losses against 5 of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they are a very tested team this year.
Very.
And I feel like they're going to have a kind of the favorable spread in this game going into
it's going to be good. And look,
that.
and it's not a super long trip, only about, I think, give it 20, 30, 40 minutes. Not a crazy bus ride or anything, and nothing like Athens has
there's like
Trimble or any of those.
2 hours, 55 minutes.
A lot of these
Dogs.
regions get up to some big ones up there in the Steubenville area. But we're going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, lots more to preview. We got to go through all these regions, talk about all these games. You're listening live to Football Friday Kickoff, presented by General Mills.
The General Mills Company of Wellston, manufacturers of great items like Totino's Pizza and Totino's Pizza Rolls, are proud to be a part of the Southern Ohio community. The General Mills Company, just like its hard-working employees in Southern Ohio, are proud supporters of our area youth. The General Mills Company wishes good luck to all area high school teams this season. A message from your friends at General Mills Company in Wellston.
Are you age 55 plus and ready to make a difference in your community? COAD's AmeriCorps Senior Retired Senior Volunteer Program allows seniors age 55 and up who pass a background check to help with community-based services such as veteran services, disaster relief, and environmental care through local nonprofits. If this interests you, please contact Danielle Woodyard at 740-286-4918 or email dwoodyard@coadinc.org. COAD, the Corporation for Ohio Appalachian Development, is here to help you and the community.
Tri-City Theater in Jackson is your home for the hottest new movies and the best popcorn in town. Visit our website at tricitytheater.com or download the Tri-City Theater app on your mobile device. And don't forget to join the Loyalty Rewards program to earn points when you visit any of our theaters, including Danbury Cinemas in Chillicothe and Silver Screen 7 in Gallipolis. We look forward to seeing you very soon at the movies.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Southern Ohio? Turn to Howard Hanna Real Estate Services and the McNerlin Network team. We offer a full range of services including mortgages, insurance, and title services to ensure a smooth process. Our new Buy Borrow Bundle program can save buyers up to $10,000 at closing and attract more buyers when selling. Ready to get started? Call 740-702-6000 or text 614-607-8201 for a free consultation. Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, where your home happens here.
Are you looking to make a difference in a child's life? At Necco Foster Care, we believe every child deserves a loving home. Join our community of caring families and provide a safe, nurturing environment for kids in need. With support and training every step of the way, you can be the change a child needs. Are you ready to open your heart and home? Contact Necco Foster Care today and make a lasting impact. Visit necco.org or call 740-263-2626. Together, we can create brighter futures. Necco, we build families.
Calling all hunters and outdoor enthusiasts. It's time to gear up for your next adventure with our buy one, get two free sale on select styles at Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. That's right, 3 pairs of boots for the price of one. Whether you plan to hit the deer woods this fall, need new hiking boots for the trails, or even a new pair of work boots, we've got you covered. So don't miss out. Stop and see us today at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come get fully set up for the fall at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store.
Families.
Back in Beaver. It is football Friday kickoff. The atmosphere ratcheted up. I like how both locker rooms are like right next to each other. So these guys are kind of just staring at each other for the next
That's like sitting in the room with your girlfriend while you're fighting. It's awesome. It's awesome. Just put them up against each other and let them fight, baby. Here we are.
Well, they're going to be fighting in just about a little under 2 hours time. Kickoff at 7, of course, as it is around the state in the 740. Some great games around the state. Let's go down to Region 15, where there are some really, really good matchups. St. Clairsville Bishop Reedy. This is a really interesting one, and another one that has playoff history. Just a couple of years ago in the regional quarterfinals, a number 1 seed, St. Clairsville, was upset by a number 9 seed, Bishop Reedy, 24-21. Here we are again, 2 years later, same spot. And Reedy escaped last week against Alder. They only won 18-17, which was also a playoff rematch. But St. Clairsville this year is not that same team that they were in 22. This team is a bit more ruthless, it feels like. And I don't know if Reedy has the firepower to get done tonight, but it's very possible.
Well, it is possible, and we'll see. But this Red Devils team from St. Clairsville feels like they're the better team to me on both sides of the football. And when I look at it on paper, I don't see where Reedy has much of an advantage heading into this football game. I do anticipate the first slip-up we see will be a team that's 11 or a team that has 0 losses on the year. That's kind of been my thing in the playoffs. I don't think a 1-loss team that's a 1 seed slips up before a 0-loss team, but I don't think it happens in this one.
It just feels like for Bishop Reedy, they have gotten the wheels back on the ship in that 6-game winning streak. Against a solid, out-of-conference schedule. They had a 4-game losing streak. It was against opponents with a record of 37-7, and they only lost those games by an average margin of defeat, 10 points per game. So they do have a shot in this matchup, I believe, especially with history being on their side.
And I think that it's gonna be a battle. These two teams have seen each other twice in the playoffs before. This is history, right? Now, let's go down and let's think about our guy. Let's think about the general, who is in, probably just about getting up to Naden hunting right about now. Up in,
hear that, Bub? Spell it.
Is that? I don't know if I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know if I pronounce that right, and if I did, Indian Valley fans. Indian Valley fans, I apologize. But, well, that's who the Waverly Tigers are traveling to take on today. They will play Indian Valley. And the big story with Indian Valley is, of course, this isn't just a regionally good running back.
Yeah.
This isn't just a state good running back. This is a nationally good running back in Grady Kinsey, who, by the way, is only a junior. These stats are video game. 2,347 yards on this season. By the way, an important note, he didn't play last week. They sat him, and it was not injury related from what I dug up. It was just a straight get right week, maybe. Just they felt like they were better than Heath, and well, they were right. They won 40-15 yards, and with those 32 touchdowns, it's 21st in the nation at 33. And he's number 1 in the state for those yards and number 3 in touchdowns. All that on just 178 carries. That's 13.2 yards per carry. Pretty ridiculous, averaging 234.7 yards per game. Nice. But I think the bigger and more interesting story, obviously everybody's talking about Kinsey. How about sophomore quarterback Riker Williams? This kid's good. Again, sophomore, I emphasize that because it's a young quarterback still learning. We talk about that a lot when Unioto was playing with Isaac Coy. So, again, they don't pass the ball very often. 762 9 touchdowns, 4 picks. But this is the interesting thing. 106 carries, 918 yards, 8.7 on the ground, and 10 scores. So they have a nice little read option game that they run with Kinsey, to have to play. It's similar to the Athens and the Jackson conversation that we had a couple minutes ago. You have to play your best football tonight. And again, they were tested by good running offenses in the past. You know, you think about your Wheelersburgs, you think about your Portsmouth West attacks. Cleveland Axes in the past. You know, you think about your Wheelersburgs, you think about your Portsmouth West attacks. Cleveland Akron region, right? But they, stay in the. And that's the funny thing about the OHSAA in their regions.
Yeah,
and that's where I'll leave that conversation.
Well, in East Liverpool too. Also in their losses, 3 losses by 6 points. So in their losses, they've been super competitive.
You feel like this one's going to be close.
I feel like
this one's going to be close.
Yeah.
I think this one's also going to be close. New Lexington versus Logan Elm. First time these two squads have ever locked horns. Isaiah Roberts is the guy for New Lex, for the Panthers. Had 342 yards and 4 scores against Canton South last week. Bentley Hansen, how about this stat line? 8 catches, 236 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Insane.
Monster out there at the receiver position. And then Carson Kellogg, we know all about his exploits at running back.
3 points over the Tornadoes. We're seeing what West Muskingum's doing as well.
Talk about them in a few minutes.
We are.
To find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great
Walk-ins are welcome.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
Looking for a home?
See, the football has never really been there. Now it is. It is completely now. I mean, look, 22-1 over the last 22 years. But again, that one last year against Waterford in this round, in the regional quarterfinal, they lost a tight game to Waterford, right?
Yeah.
And this is where they will want to be better. This is where they feel like they have an opportunity to continue to go forth. And again, the biggest thing is, and again, Coach is going to talk about this in this package, the standard is not just playoff wins and conference titles anymore. They are aiming a little bit higher than that. And I talked to Coach. I talked to a few other people in and around the program, including where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah, Jeff Davis, right over to the side there.
The madman himself.
One of the voices.
Mike Davis.
Oh, Mike Davis. It's
Mike
tough.
Davis.
It's tough.
Mike Davis.
I did that a couple times in the car, and then I was like, man, I'm definitely going to do that on air, aren't I?
Those are
And
fighting
bang,
words.
There it is.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah, but talk to Mike Davis.
Now he is a madman.
So you got Mike Davis, the madman. You got Jeff Davis, the general. Man, I need a name now. I need a name.
Oh, I'm sure he's got. I'm sure he's got a couple for you there now, brother.
It is built in. It is built in. But in any case, I talked to the madman and I talked to Coach Tomlinson about what exactly makes this program tick. Take a listen.
Beaver Eastern are on a historic run. To be honest, historic might be selling it short when you realize that this is only the 10th full varsity season for the Eagles football program. One man has been the constant throughout the entire history of high school football for the Eagles, head coach Scott Tomlinson.
Yeah, I started the football program about 13 years ago. Started with the 5th and 6th grade and a junior high team. Then we did that for 3 years, and we rolled into our very first year of varsity. Actually, it was a JV. So we did that for 2 years, and our third year was just a JV team. So I went to the school board after that and asked them if they could, if they were ready to go varsity, because I didn't want to keep going JV, and felt like we were ready to get started. So that 4th year here, I went ahead and rolled into varsity. I believe that first year we ended up going 3-7, and then just kind of steamrolled from there. I think we were maybe 4-6 the next year, 5-5. We just kept getting a little better each year.
Coach Tomlinson couldn't do it alone. Play-by-play commentator Mike Davis has seen the growth of this program in a number of ways over the past few seasons.
Honestly, I don't know if I want to say the switch was flipped, like it was something that just kind of suddenly happened. I think that this is what they've been building towards since the inception, way back when, 2010, 2012, as they slowly built the program up. Each year, I think they've gotten better and better and better and better and better to where they got to the point last year. And this is actually our third SOC championship in a row. So we have a three-peat. And they start the program young at Eastern, and it's the same coaches in the program. And they're building those good fundamentals from very early on, even from the flag football days, up into tackle to junior high and to high school. And
Eastern and Tomlinson are now bred for success, but this has always been the standard.
We talk about winning. What happened the day I got here? Like the very first season, we talked about winning ball games. It's never been, we hope we have let's try to be 500. Let's try to win a couple games. From the time we started the program, it's been about winning. From the time we started the program, I have said out loud publicly that we want to be like a Willersburg and Ironton and Amanda Clear Creek back in the day when they had a little dynasty. That's what it's what we started this to build. We were not going to. I've never ever just been happy to have a football program. It was never about when we started this thing. It was about winning. It was about trying to get to a state championship, and we still talk that. We put that on the board. We put it out for kids to see. We talk about it every day in practice. It's not just about winning conference championships for us anymore. It's about getting the state. Like we have, started this program 13 years ago, and back then it was to get to the state, and it is still to get to the state. We want to get to a state and play for a state championship.
Any great team needs a strong leader, and after losing talented quarterback Dylan Morton after last season, the Eagles had a sizable void at quarterback. Up stepped Eric Manling, who's grown up before everyone's eyes.
Well, you can definitely tell that, he is learning. He learns from, I know he took a lot of direction from Dylan Morton last year. And last year, Dylan threw for 2,013 yards. I got the stats right in front of me here. So he learned a lot from D-Ray. But then, I think he's He's a very level-headed young man, and I think that he learns from his mistakes, but I also think that he can forget his mistakes and move on, if that makes any sense. If he makes a mistake, he doesn't let it weigh on him the rest of the game. Somebody who throws an interception might let that affect the rest of the game, and then just things go out of control from there. We've seen him make mistakes, and he is able to bounce back really, really quickly and almost just forget it and put it past him and move forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty cool story himself. He moved down here from Columbus, I think, in the 7th grade. We talked him into playing football his 8th grade year. He played a little bit of wide receiver his junior year. Didn't want to play his freshman year. He didn't play football his freshman year. We couldn't talk him into it. Talked him into coming back out his sophomore year. Sophomore year, he was a backup wide receiver. Played a little bit of backup quarterback for us. We knew he had a strong arm and he ran well. Very athletic for a tall kid. So last year we really started putting some effort into making him a quarterback instead of a wide receiver because we knew with Dylan graduating we had to have something. And he showed some promise. And then the off season, he really worked hard in the off season. We did a lot of footwork stuff in the off season with him and working with his arm. Evan Ferguson, the OC, really took him under his wing and did a lot of work with him. And just got a lot of 7-on-7s this summer. Went to a lot of 7-on-7s to try to catch him up to speed. He's like, hey, he never really played football. So you talk about cover 2, cover 4. Man, he didn't have a clue. He didn't know any of those coverages was, that type of stuff. So, they spent a lot of time in the film room watching films. Like, what coverage is this? What do you see?
Eastern hasn't always been known for football, but the community has rallied and made this football team their own.
The Eastern Eagle community has got behind this football program from day one, when they had their first ever varsity game, when they only played 4 games in a season before, because it's been 10 full seasons, but they had a few before that when they're losing, but it didn't matter. They still showed up. Eastern has always traditionally been a basketball school, basketball and volleyball. And these Eastern Eagle fans, they come out for basketball, but they really have embraced this football program. And it wasn't, some schools around the area have tried to start football programs and it's fizzled out pretty quickly. But Eastern, from the get-go, got behind it. And because of the community, I think the community is what has helped it the most, honestly.
The Eagles will play tonight against South Gallia, but winning conference titles and playoff games are no longer the goal. Coach Tomlinson and his Eagles have their sights set a bit higher.
They expect to win. Even our juniors, all of our juniors, they won the conference 3 years in a row now. So it's expected. The culture's really shifted to where they go into the game expecting to win, every Friday night. They've got a belief in the coaches and a belief in what we're doing. So, and that's big. And that's, like I said, we probably have the best freshman class that we've ever had right now. We've got 13 freshmen. Like I said, we start 3 of them. So, this isn't going to go away anytime soon. This is, we feel like we built this the right way. Eastern football is going to be around for quite a while. We'll win a lot of ball games the next few years.
For Football Friday Kickoff, I'm Ethan Sargent. We'll be right back live for Beaver Eastern. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff, presented by General Mills.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
At Adventure Pro Outdoors, we are the experts in outdoor fun. Spend the day on the Hocking River, canoeing, kayaking, or tubing. Sling some mud through Wayne National Forest on a guided Polaris side-by-side tour. Or book a 3-wheeled slingshot and experience the most scenic highways in southeast Ohio.
Come meet the Adventure Pro staff on Canal Street in Nelsonville, Ohio.
New memories start here. Visit AdventureProOutdoors.com.
Are you tired of dealing with malfunctioning garage doors? Look no further than True Track Garage Doors in Londonderry. Our team of experienced technicians specialize in garage door repairs, installation, and maintenance services. Whether you need a simple repair or a brand new garage door installation, we've got you covered. At True Track Garage Doors, we prioritize customer satisfaction and ensure that your garage door is functioning properly and safely. Contact us today at 740-596-1000 to schedule an appointment or request a free estimate. Call True Track to get you back on track.
The General Mills Company of Wellston, manufacturers of great items like Totino's Pizza and Totino's Pizza Rolls, are proud to be a part of the Southern Ohio community. The General Mills Company, just like its hard-working employees in Southern Ohio, are proud supporters of our area youth. The General Mills Company wishes good luck to all area high school teams this season. A message from your friends at General Mills Company in Wellston.
Looking for the perfect venue to make your event unforgettable? Parks Edge Event Center in Jackson, Ohio now offers chef-driven catering that fits any budget. Whether it's an elegant wedding, a lively party, or a corporate meeting, our event specialists will craft the perfect venue for whatever is needed to make your gathering stand out among the rest. Book now by calling 740-919-EDGE or visiting us online at enjoyparksedge.com. That's 740-919-3343 and enjoyparksedge.com.
Are you age 55 plus and ready to make a difference in your community? COAD's AmeriCorps Senior Retired Senior Volunteer Program allows seniors age 55 and up who pass a background check to help with community-based services such as veteran services, disaster relief, and environmental care through local nonprofits. If this interests you, please contact Danielle Woodyard at 740-286-4918 or email dwoodyard@coadinc.org. COAD, the Corporation for Ohio Appalachian Development, is here to help you and the community.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Southern Ohio? Turn to Howard Hanna Real Estate Services and the McNerlin Network team. We offer a full range of services including mortgages, insurance, and title services to ensure a smooth process. Our new Buy Borrow Bundle program can save buyers up to $10,000 at closing and attract more buyers when selling. Ready to get started? Call 740-702-6000 or text 614-607-8201 for a free consultation. Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, where your home happens here.
Tri-City Theater in Jackson is your home for the hottest new movies and the best popcorn in town. Visit our website at tricitytheater.com or download the Tri-City Theater app on your mobile device. And don't forget to join the Loyalty Rewards program to earn points when you visit any of our theaters, including Danbury Cinemas in Chillicothe and Silver Screen 7 in Gallipolis. We look forward to seeing you very soon at the movies.
Served up quickly with a smile.
Back in Beaver, it's Football Friday kickoff. We're going to talk about those Eagles a little bit later on. We're going to speed run here. Division 5 and Division 6. Let's start with Division 5, Region 19. I think, unfortunately, just for time purposes, I think we could skip over Portsmouth Ironton. As much as I like this Trojan season, as good a season they've had at 8-3, unfortunately for them, the Ironton wagon continues to roll. That's just they're just going to be too strong.
We agree.
Too strong. I think, honestly, we could probably skip over Columbus Academy Harvest Prep, too. As much as I like Columbus Academy, I just think Prep's going to be too much. Those two also do have some playoff history. They've seen each other twice recently. In 2021, Harvest Prep swept Columbus Academy aside 41-0 in the regional semi, and then Prep beat them in 2020 as well, 20-17. As the what am I hearing that?
The fans are getting rowdy wherever they are.
You're hearing
that is. I was
from Beaver.
Yeah.
That's where you're hearing that from, Beaver.
I know that was
sights and sounds, baby.
Oh, it's like a party bus.
Yeah, it's a party bus right over there.
I love it.
I love it. That's awesome. Maybe. Oh yeah, they look at them. They got.
That's how I feel on Fridays.
Arms out the window.
That's how I feel on Fridays. I love it right there.
Maybe a little student section.
Okay.
I don't know. That's awesome. Whatever it is. Well, let's talk about it. You want to talk about awesome? This game, West Muskingum, Fairland. I know very well that there are a lot of Dragons who are very familiar with these tornadoes. Just 2 years ago, we saw one of the best games of the season. Yeah. West Muskingum, in double overtime, took down the 7th-seeded Fairland Dragon 22-21, and that was West Musk's first ever playoff victory. Rashid Sasay, the talented running back who's now at Ohio State, was integral to that. Now Fairland remembers. Fairland remembers that game. Ethan Wall is going to have to step up and be the guy today for the Dragons and their 32 points per game offense. But again, you got to think about Carter Winland, for West Muskingum. He's their guy. The offense runs through him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And West Muskingum comes into this game, and it feels like they've been challenged. They've been tried on this year. Of course, earlier I was talking about those New Lex Panthers, a 3-point victory over the Tornadoes. We've seen what the Panthers have done. The Tornadoes hung right there with them. I know we know who Fairland is, but Bub, I never heard from anyone from Proctorville accepting that apology. So West Muskingum has a little bit of my favoritism heading into this football game.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragons have definitely left a sour taste in my mouth, especially whenever we're talking about me selecting them this year and the success I've had. But for West Muskingum, it is a 3-hour trip down 93 and US 33.
Tough travel.
93 is a curvy road. It makes my tummy a little upset. I can't imagine what it's going to do to these Tornadoes tonight.
I've driven that drive a few times, and it's not pleasant.
It is not.
Those up and down, those hills.
There's lefts and rights.
That's a drive. That's a battle, honestly. And hopefully those players brought their stomachs with them to Proctorville. And this game, not many people would have predicted a 14 versus an 11.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
Wheelersburg on the road against Union Local. They're favored. They're favored pretty heavily by 22 points, according to Drew Pastor. And again, the Berg is the Berg. They do what they do. Last week, stomped on Barnesville. A lot of people doubted them, including myself. Stomped on them and didn't even think twice. And now they go to Union Local, who probably weren't expecting a second home game. That's awesome. You see that?
That's a giant Shrek sign.
South Gallia is here.
Get Shrek.
South Gallia.
It is Shrek.
Is 100%
South Gallia has
here.
arrived.
South Gallia is in the building.
Get
Okay.
Shrek.
Get Shrek.
That's
Get
awesome.
Shrek.
There have been a lot of awesome things that have happened in the last 5 minutes.
Yes.
Just the way it's designed, a little piece of wood on PVC pipe.
There is a young man with a mullet from the Crown City with the Shrek sign running around in Beaver, Ohio. Nothing is better. Football, I don't care. This is the best place on earth.
Yeah.
This is awesome. But back to the Tornadoes in that football game. The Tornadoes are 10 points from unbeaten. The 3-point loss to New Lex in the 7-point loss to Garraway. That is a dangerous team headed to Proctorville. I don't care if their car's sick or not.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And then for Berg, I think it's just about the Pirates. I think the thing that I've noticed about Union Local on film, and what we saw a little bit last week in their matchup against Nelsonville York, is that they don't really pass the ball very much.
Yeah.
And Wheelersburg, again, we know what their rushing offense is capable of, but their rushing defense really stepped up last week against Barnesville. Their defense in general did just such a great job on what's been such a high-flying offense all season. And by the way, Barnesville annihilated Union Local earlier in the year, and now Berg comes to town, who just beat Barnesville. So you have to think that the Pirates are in control tonight. Let's go down to Region 23, where there's really only one game I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
The 3 other games, Colonel Crawford goes to Grandview Heights, Centerburg goes to Northmore. Newcomerstown Ridgewood is probably the most interesting of those 3 because that's actually a former Indian Valley Conference rivalry. They haven't played each other in 5 years. It used to be a pretty regular Week 10 rivalry matchup. They've played each other. Let's do some quick head math here. 34 plus 19 is 53 plus 2 is 55 times. So meeting number 56 comes in the playoffs. First ever time, I believe, in the playoffs, and it is a little old rivalry kindled there. But we talked about this game a little bit earlier on. Waterford, Fort Fry. These two teams, I'm not even going to say don't like, they hate each other, especially Waterford towards Fort Fry.
Yeah.
17 straight for Fort Fry over Waterford. And I'm telling you, that county is stopped tonight. You're not going to see many cars driving on the roads of Beverly. This game is monstrous in so many ways.
And there's nothing I love more. Love more than playoff hate. And these two teams do hate each other. And how about it? One with a streak coming into it, Bub. I'll let you speak in just a minute on that because you are our streak expert here. But, Bub, Fort Fry, Waterford. Fort Fry and the Cadets, very tested team. They were a part of that Twin State League that was just a fiasco from the jump, and that was just a bounce-around league, a 4-team league. But they're very tested. They're going to have something to say against this Waterford team tonight.
Yeah, and for Waterford, as a man, the streak expert, as you titled me.
You are.
Right there.
For
Waterford, if you get this win in the playoffs, that erases all of those 17 losses in a row.
I 100% agree.
And that's what a lot of Wildcats fans are saying. So you have a golden opportunity here, but you got to slow down Tice Beardsley. He was a key in that victory in the regular season. He's going to be a key factor tonight to focus on.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. And I was able to dig up some stats and 353 rushing yards last week in a what was probably a tighter than expected win for Fort Fry, 30-22 over Buckeye Trail. A lot of penalties, 8 Fort Fry. It was a problem in their win against Waterford earlier in the season as well. Penalties are an issue for this cadet squad, but the running is not an issue. Clayton Miller, 158 yards and a score. Tice Beardsley had 130 yards and a score, and Kanan Bradford had 65 yards and 2 scores. So they have a lot of different running backs that can be potent, a lot of different running backs that can punish you. And you want to talk about running backs that can punish you, let's talk about the Jones brothers. I don't know how we haven't really talked about these guys all that much this year, because they are doing crazy things for this Waterford squad that I think has just gotten better and better as the season has gone on. 2,432 rushing yards combined, 35 touchdowns combined. These two are disgusting. Both of them are major issues. And Fort Fry, again, they did a pretty good job in the first meeting of limiting them, I believe, to only 70 or so combined yards. But this Waterford team, the big kind of thing that Fort Fry has noticed, and I was reading a Fort Fry focused article, is that Coach Eric Huck said that they're way better now than they were when we saw them all the way back in week 5. It feels like a different, or week 6, sorry. It feels like a different season. It feels like it was ages ago.
Right. Yeah, and we're seeing these teams that are having these rematch games in the playoffs.
That's the thing.
Take the win in the second round. So, I mean, does Waterford get it done tonight as well?
You could see something interesting
it is
in
very
Region
possible.
23.
And that would, again, that just, I think Bub nailed it when he said that if Waterford wins 17 straight for Fort Fry goes out the window. Waterford will only
motivator.
I know. Waterford have only beaten Fort Fry 8 times ever. Only 8 wins ever. So a 9th tonight would do a world for that community, that program. And I know Coach Eric McCutcheon, he would be thrilled to see his Wildcats go to the regional semifinals. Let's quickly touch on Region 24. 2 teams that we cover are in action in that region. Portsmouth West is favored tonight against St. Bernard Elmwood Place out of Cincinnati. And then another school out of Cincinnati, Rock Hill, a little bit of a trip. Got to go to Cincinnati Country Day. I think Rock Hill has an uphill battle. Portsmouth West they'll be the favorite to get the job done tonight. Anything interesting about either of those games, you guys feel?
Well, I know the Portsmouth West is the favorite in this contest, but keep an eye on the St. Bernard Elmwood Place Titans in that matchup. I think they're a pretty tested team. It's had some things to say throughout the regular season. I think another long trip in the area, but hey, keep an eye on that team in that matchup. We'll talk more about that one in the picks, but I will say Country Day, the Cincinnati Country Day Nighthawks, best game of anyone we follow. The Country Day Nighthawks, best game of anyone we follow.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Rock Hill. I think they have proven me wrong, especially week 1 of the playoffs. I took them to finally get their season over after I've been very harsh on them. After that Oak Hill victory by 3 points. But they have impressed me, and if they get this win this week, I'll erase all my talk for the year.
Oh, okay, Bubba.
I'll go the Waterford route.
Okay. I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. You gotta.
You're right. Though.
No mercy.
Uphill battle.
No mercy. But I do think that they have a very uphill battle tonight. I agree. But I do think when you look at Cincy Country Day's
that 2-point win against Blanchester,
schedule, there is a route to victory. I feel here for the Redmen. For the Redmen. And the big thing with that is it's only their second ever playoff win. The first one was during a COVID year, so no real fans, no real atmosphere. You get a playoff win at home too. I'm sure the atmosphere was fantastic down there.
That was great.
Again, that was a big moment. So when we come back, we still got to preview this game a little bit, and then we will get into our picks. And we got to talk a little bit about this region as well. I just got an update from Carl Blaylock. He is up in Akana and Valley for that game against Trimble, which we're going to talk about after the break. Cold, blustery, and nasty were the 3 words I got.
Sounds like Northern Ohio.
It sounds like Northern Ohio. And could that play in favor of the Trimble Tomcats and their hard-nosed rushing offense? We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff, presented by General Mills.
Total Media Sports is your home for all sports across Southeast Ohio. Listen to the radio for shows like General Mills Football Fridays, the 740 Sports Show, and of course, local high school sports broadcasts. Our YouTube channel is home to live streams for 7 area high schools football games. And check out the Total Media Sports Facebook page for scores and live coverage of local sports. It's all on Total Media Sports.
Are you looking to make a difference in a child's life? At Necco Foster Care, we believe every child deserves a loving home. Join our community of caring families and provide a safe, nurturing environment for kids in need. With support and training every step of the way, you can be the change a child needs. Are you ready to open your heart and home? Contact Necco Foster Care today and make a lasting impact. Visit neco.org or call 740-263-2626. Together, we can create brighter futures. Necco, we build families.
The General Mills Company of Wellston, manufacturers of great items like Totino's Pizza and Totino's Pizza Rolls, are proud to be a part of the Southern Ohio community. The General Mills Company, just like its hard-working employees in Southern Ohio, are proud supporters of our area youth. The General Mills Company wishes good luck to all area high school teams this season. A message from your friends at General Mills Company in Wellston.
Calling all hunters and outdoor enthusiasts. It's time to gear up for your next adventure with our buy one, get two free sale on select styles at Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. That's right, 3 pairs of boots for the price of 1. Whether you plan to hit the deer woods this fall, need new hiking boots for the trails, or even a new pair of work boots, we've got you covered. So don't miss out. Stop and see us today at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come get fully set up for the fall at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone in crisis. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988. Brought to you by the Suicide Prevention Coalitions of Athens, Gallia, Jackson, Meigs, and Pike counties.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Broadcasting from the Tri-City Theater studios at the Stockmeister Plaza and around the world. Online on your smartphone or smart device, this is WKOV-FM. Oak Hill, Jackson, Wellston, and MacArthur.
USA, a total media station.
Man, we've seen it all tonight. Is that an oar?
That is an oar.
Have you seen the giant eagle behind us?
There's a giant eagle.
It has claws.
There is oars. We've seen Shrek.
Someone just handed us nachos.
Somebody did just hand us these nachos. If
Shout
you're
out
watching on the
Neil
YouTube
Weiss.
stream, it was very, very good. I ate
Wow.
some of
Yeah,
it.
you put a dent in
I
those.
did put a real dent in it.
Wow.
It was pretty
Well
good.
done,
It was pretty
Sarge.
good.
Well
I wasn't
done.
even particularly hungry, but they looked so appetizing. I was like, I gotta at least give it a go. And well,
Oh, you gave it a go.
the rest is now inscribed in history. It was all just seen live on YouTube. And again, if you're listening, by the way, if you're listening to us on the air, we're now live on YouTube. If you want to see our pretty faces, or if you just want to, maybe you're going out of our coverage area, maybe you're driving on the way up there and you're not quite catching our airwaves, you can catch us on YouTube, Total Media Sports. If you're driving, of course, don't watch us while you're driving, but you could flip that into the system and make sure you listen to us anyway. So we appreciate y'all, and we really appreciate anybody who's listening on any one of our different platforms of broadcast. We don't know if this will be the last one. We hope not, but we'll have to see based on results today. But
Time will tell.
It's been a heck of a run. It's been a great season, I'd say, so far. And we got a lot more to go. Let's talk about Division 7, Region 27. Let's start with that game that I mentioned just before the break. Trimble Tomcats heading up to Conotton Valley. This game feels like mindset on mindset. Completely two different ones clashing head to head. Trimble, we know what we're getting. Hard-nosed football between the tackles. Owen Sikorsky, we'll see how healthy he is. Brady J6, very capable quarterback, can throw, can run.
Right.
We know what Trimble's going to look like. The very interesting aspect of this matchup is Conotton Valley is a very, very unique school. They're the Rockets. They average 34.4 points per game. The defense is a little bit of a concern. 24 points allowed. They gave up 68 points and 50 points in a couple of different games, respectively. Got beat up bad by Newcomerstown. Got beat up bad by Toronto. So there is potential for the the Trimble Tomcats to get some gains on this defense. But Conant Valley's offense is what makes this team, what had my eyes popping as I was doing my prep for this week. Zachary Putnam is their quarterback. Listen to these stats. And I'll let you guys reserve judgment until after I say this. 226 completions on 349 attempts at 64.8%, 2,841 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. That sounds like a college football final season statistic.
Yeah.
I was going to say that sounded okay.
You got a kid in Division 7 who is chucking for this. And look, they have multiple receivers. I look at Brooks Bauer as their big receiver, 887 yards and 13 scores for him. And the big thing that I wrote down is that Trimble is used to the rigors of the Tri-Valley Conference, the hard-nosed football. It's what they're built on. It's what Phil Ferris has built his teams to do for years.
Yeah.
This is a completely different attack that they're going to see from the Rockets. Is the secondary going to be ready to go?
Well, and that's the real question, right, for Trimble. And we've seen that secondary at times be tested this year. And when they have been, they haven't always been ready for that test. But tonight they're going to see a passing attack unlike anything they've seen all year long. And we've seen Trimble go on the road as well and really struggle on the road. 2 of their 3 losses on the road. So we'll see what the Tomcats, or 2 of their 4 losses, I should say, on the road. So
and this isn't your typical road trip. I mean,
this
is
a long road.
Yeah, Connerton Valley is quite a haul from Gloucester. It's quite a ways. It's quite a trip. But we'll see if the Tomcats are up for it. I will say, though, our buddy Bo, I cannot wait to talk to tonight, because I don't know what you guys did to Bo in the postgame show last night or what he said last week on this show, but he got the folks in Eastern so fired up.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that Bo was stirring the pot in Division 7, Region 27 on his own.
I will say that if Trimble wins tonight in Conant Valley, or in Bowerstown, that's where it is. Carl just updated me. He said, again, this is the verbatim text that Carl sent me 8 minutes ago. Update from Bowerstown. It is windy and cold. Advantage Trimble. And I'd have to agree with him. That weather does play into the hard-nosed rushing football as opposed to that high-flying passing attack.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we talked to Bo, and Bo is so confident, right? He's always confident.
He's very confident.
And the thing is, right, what I was saying is that if Trimble wins tonight, and if Eastern wins
the
tonight,
Rebels.
they're clashing next week. So Bo's going to have to live up to his words potentially, but not if these guys walking next to me have anything to say about it. South Gallia here in town tonight to take on Beaver Eastern. Let's talk about this game.
Let's do it.
This is such an interesting matchup, again, because these 2 teams saw each other just 3 weeks ago. They know each other. This is now a rivalry. This isn't just, both of the, and we talk a lot about Beaver Eastern today, but South Gallia is another school that's kind of built themselves up really nicely recently. They've had, obviously, the transition. They were in the Tri-Valley Conference for a long time. Now they're in the SOC. And again, the biggest thing here is, can they slow down Eric Manley? We talked about it in the package that I did. We talked to Coach Tomlinson. He, could really be a guy that could be one of the best passers in Division 7 next year. And I really think that's true. And again, it was really interesting. Not a quarterback until really his sophomore year, when they first kind of pinpointed, okay, he might be capable. And then all of a sudden, all the work they put in this summer with all the different guys that they've had work in the building. They watched film a ton. They had him identify coverage. Like, again, he had to learn all this from scratch as a sophomore in high school, which is not easy to do.
Yep.
And he has taken that in stride. 127 for 238, 53.9 completion percentage, 2,361 yards, 35 scores, and 10 picks. Those are great numbers for a guy playing his first season as a quarterback. And then again, the number that stands out, his dad was the man who handed us these nachos, Tucker Leist. 48 catches for 1,002 yards, 20.9 per catch, and 17 scores. He is the big play man for the Eagles.
Yeah, he is Nacho average receiver from Nacho Dad. And Bub, I gotta say, this Eastern Eagles attack is balanced through Manly, but I gotta say, these big fellas up front. Down at Sully's in the Valley the other night, we had an opportunity to speak with Brewer Tomlinson, to talk.
I believe he called them soccer players on Wednesday.
I did. I was just trying. Hey, our buddy Bo was stirring the pot, so as they walked into Sully's, I said, here come the soccer team, to see if I could stir the pot myself.
You got a lot of bad looks.
I did get some dirty looks. It was well worth it. I'm hoping to get some dirty looks this evening here as well. Keep it tuned. But listen, these guys are ready up front as well. These guys are confident tonight that they're going to be able to run the football a little differently than they were able to down in Mercerville in the Crown City against these Rebels. Happy birthday. Happy birthday out there to somebody. I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
I got no words.
But that left me speechless.
If it is
it's
your
all
birthday,
happening.
well,
It's all happening.
Well,
I thought it was another one of those buses.
It is my good buddy Bryce Tinson's birthday. I can shout him out. He's a buddy of mine who worked with me on Gridiron Glory last year. He's over in Philadelphia now. So happy birthday, Bryce.
There we go. They needed that, but also it's going to be a fun night down here in Eastern.
Yeah, let's get back to the South Gallia squad, though. I mean, they did hold the Eastern Beaver offense to their lowest scoring output of the season. So if there was ever a team on Eastern's schedule to give them fits, it's the South Gallia Rebels.
Yeah. I agree.
Built for it.
I agree. And that's the thing,
rematch.
right? Again, and this was the interesting thing. And I was talking to Coach after we did this interview, and I was kind of getting his vibe on things. And they really felt like Eastern felt like they left that game out there, even though they won 13-12. They felt like they didn't play a good enough football game against South Gallia the last time. And again, if you're South Gallia, on one hand, you played them tough, but on the other hand, you didn't get the win, right? And again, now that they lost the conference title, but now you have a chance. When the playoff bracket came out, I'm sure the Rebels knew, and I'm sure the Eagles knew as well, that they were going to have a chance to right one of the wrongs from the season and get an opportunity for revenge. And that's what tonight
double overtime
they did. And what a game that was. I imagine they could potentially see each other again at some point. We'll have to see. It would need an upset. And again, Danville's still the big dogs, if you like, but again, these guys want to be the big birds in the area.
I see what you did there.
Eastern try to get it done. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it is time for playoff picks round 2. We are going to take this break. When we come back, no further wait for our picks. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff, presented by General Mills.
For 190 years, Austin Powder Company has been the name you can trust in the mining industry. Our legacy is built on safety, customer care, and a great workplace. From the first blast to the final haul, we've been there every step of the way. Ready to be part of our tradition of excellence? The Red Diamond Austin Powder plant in MacArthur is now hiring. Visit austinpowder.com or call 596-7940 to apply today and start your journey with a global leader in the industry. Why not come work for an exciting company offering great benefits, challenging opportunities, and with colleagues that feel like family? Austin Powder Company, improving the world we live in through safe and responsible use of explosives.
Looking for a home away from home for your furry friend? Welcome to Red Woof Inn, where tails wag and dreams come true. At Red Woof, we offer spacious play areas, cozy naps, and personalized care from our dedicated team. Whether your pup loves fetch or just snuggling, we've got it covered. Our facilities are top-notch, and our staff are dog lovers through and through. From playtime adventures to treat-filled cuddle sessions, we ensure your pup has a blast. Give your dog a vacation they'll love at Red Woof Inn, located on Old Dixon Road in MacArthur. Call 740-649-8640 to book your fur baby stay while spots are still available.
Keep your athlete in action with Holzer's Saturday morning sports injury clinics. Dr. Kelly Rausch and Charles Zurenberg offer Saturday morning sports clinics at Holzer Sycamore and Gallipolis, and the Holzer Jackson Clinic on Pattonsville Road every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. during the fall sports season. Dr. Rausch and Dr. Z have the experience to keep your athlete in action. No appointment necessary. Walk-ins are welcome.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
At Adventure Pro Outdoors, we are the experts in outdoor fun. Spend the day on the Hocking River, canoeing, kayaking, or tubing. Sling some mud through Wayne National Forest on a guided Polaris side-by-side tour. Or book a 3-wheeled slingshot and experience the most scenic highways in Southeast Ohio.
Come meet the Adventure Pro staff on Canal Street in Nelsonville, Ohio.
New memories start here. Visit AdventureProOutdoors.com.
Welcome back to Beaver. It's Football Friday kickoff. Ethan Sargent, Eric Bub Blandrum. We got to go through these picks, guys, and let's jump back to the top of the sheet, and let's jump over to Division III, Region 11. And let's start off with those Ironmen. Going to Waterson, can they pull off a stunner?
It would be a stunner. Yep. It would be an upset. But, Bub, we talked about it. It wouldn't be an upset like the likes that you saw the year that Jackson took down Withrow in the playoffs.
I agree with you on that.
But I will say it would be a huge upset for Jackson to go into what is Ohio Dominican Stadium and get it done. I got Bishop Waterson getting it done over the Ironman. 14 points. I think it's a close game that just late, say last 6 minutes, 8 minutes, gets up one score too far out of hand for the Ironman.
Yeah, I got Andy Hall slowing the pace down of this game.
Keep it down.
Yeah. But I got Bishop Waterson taking this one by 7.
We'll make it a clean sweep. I think the Jackson Ironman, we'll fight tonight. They'll keep it close, but again, this Waterson team, it's less about Jackson tonight and more just about Waterson being just too much of a force. Over on ATA, that game's over on WKOV, by the way. Then on WATH, the Athens Bulldogs are road tripping as well up to Steubenville. They've got a tall task as well.
Tall task ahead of them, long drive ahead of them, and it doesn't feel like a great combination for the Athens Bulldogs that have been so tested internally already this season. Big-time dogs on the road in this one against the Big Red. I'm going to take the Big Red to get it done in this football game.
Yeah, I got Steubenville as well by 21, but I do think this game's a lot closer than other people are projecting it.
Yeah,
I got Steubenville getting
I'll keep that a clean sweep as well. I think the Big Red get it done. All right, quick fire here on these last two in the region. Dover Tri-Valley, Bloom-Carroll Licking Valley. Give me 2 picks.
Yeah, in Dresden, you're going to see Tri-Valley get away with it, and I think Bloom-Carroll gets it done, goes on the road and gets it done in Licking Valley.
Yeah, I agree with you. Bloom-Carroll is the most battle-tested team probably in this region.
Wow, so we're going 4 for 4 there because that's exactly what I had.
Okay.
Tri-Valley gets it done, and I think Bloom-Carroll gets it done. I think that'll be one of the games of the night down there, Licking Valley hosting Bloom-Carroll. Let's go down to Division 4, Region 15. Bishop Reedy travels to St. Clairsville. Can they do what they did just 2 years ago and pull a second-round upset?
I feel like it's going to be a little bit bigger upset this year if they get it done. I know Bub is going to fight me on that here, but Bub, they are the 1 seed in that region. The Red Devils are very tested on the year. They're kind of one of those teams that's gotten everyone's shot.
Yeah.
I think the Red Devils of St. Clairsville get it done over the Knights, 10 points.
Yeah, I put a lot of stock in Bishop Reedy's winning streak, but St. Clairsville's a lot bigger. I got the Red Devils getting this one done by 7 points in a close one.
We'll go 5 for 5. I think the Red Devils are just going to be too much for Reedy tonight. Will the general be happy with us or not is the question. I mean, it's tough to pick against this Indian Valley squad, but I know, last week, I think, was it a clean sweep against Waverly and they won?
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it was. I'll say that I think Indian Valley, unfortunately for the Tigers, are going to be too much offensively for Waverly to keep up, but maybe that's a good luck charm for them, is us all picking against them.
Yeah, and the one thing that Waverly had going for them last week was they fared okay in the matchup, right? They could go against a Fairfield Union team that was balanced. They're seeing anything but that tonight. Waverly struggled against the run. Indian Valley is going to run the football. This one's going to get away from the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, I'm going Indian Valley, but can Waverly keep the reverse jinx up on my picks going this week?
Yeah, that would be real interesting. Another quick fire here. Let's do Logan Elm New Lex and West Holmes East Liverpool.
Yeah, I think between the East Liverpool Potters, I think they're going to get it done, and I think New Lex is going to get it done over the Braves as well, Bub.
Yeah, I got the Potters, but I got New Lex taking a big victory over Logan Elm by 3 scores.
Well, we're finally going to have a breakaway here. I got New Lex getting it done, but I got West Holmes. That's a battle-tested squad who play with the Ashlands of the world and the New Philadelphias and the Dovers. They're in the same conference. They got that upset win over Unioto last week. And I think we're going to see more of the same formula that got them that win. And again, it's a long road trip. I think that might hurt them a little bit, but once they're off that bus and once the juices are flowing, just like these guys from Crown City to our backs over here, they're going to be ready to go, and I think West Holmes get it done in round 2. Be a rare 13 seed to make it to round 3 in the regional semis. Let's go down to Region 19, and, well, it's a historic rivalry between Portsmouth and Ironton. 66 wins for the Tigers, 61 wins for the Trojans, and 7 ties. But, of course, we saw these teams play just 2 weeks ago, and it was a massacre for the Tigers. Any reason to see that changes tonight?
Ironton's real season began a week ago. And this is week 2 as far as I'm concerned. This month, Bub, you said this one could get out of hand in a worse way than it did in week 10. I agree with you.
Yeah, it took a hurricane and a Canadian team to take down Ironton in the season. It ain't happening this week. Give me the Tigers.
It did.
That Ironton Tigers senior class, 25-1 at the tank.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. And, well, the last time these two met in the playoffs was in 22, and Ironton was also a 1. Portsmouth was a 9 instead of an 8, and it was 48-7 Ironton. I think Tigers take care of business pretty easily tonight. This game we talked about earlier, what a game this is. West Muskingum going to Fairland. Little bit of a drive, like you said, for the Tornadoes. Can they potentially get it done against the Dragons?
Bub, I just checked my DMs. No one from Fairland replied. No one from Proctorville accepted that apology. I got no reason to switch my pick. The Tornadoes are going on the road. They're going into Proctorville, and they're getting it done tonight.
I'm still going to roll with Fairland. I'm still hopeful that I can get that apology accepted.
I
will go with the Dragons.
I'll show you what it's like to pick against Fairland and be successful then. Fairland's going down at home.
We'll have to see what happens. I'm going to go with the Dragons. I think it's going to be a tight game. May come
Very
down
close one.
just like it did in 22. May come down to the last possession.
It's the
but I think
travel.
the Dragons get it done. West Musk, little iffy last week. That's my biggest concern. They didn't exactly blow Afrocentric out of the water. Fairland took care of business in a big way themselves. Columbus Academy, Harvest Prep, Berg, Union Local. Give me a reason why Harvest Prep wins this game, because I think they do win. I think we're probably a clean sweep there. Are we?
Yeah.
And then give me a game in that Berg local matchup.
Well, Harvest Prep is going to win this game because they're as tested as anybody. I think Wheelersburg-Barnesville was going to say a lot about this region, and they knocked off that Wheelersburg team by 6. So I know what Harvest Prep has to bring to the table, but Wheelersburg, on the other hand, Wheelersburg just on a mission. I think Wheelersburg is just fine against the Jets tonight as well.
And guess who play each other next week? If that matchup comes up, we get another rematch between the two in the postseason. That would be amazing. Down to Region 23. Quick fire on those 3 games that aren't really in our region. Well, they are, but we don't really cover any of these 6 teams, to be honest. Grandview Colonel, Northmore Centerburg, and Ridgewood Newcomerstown. Who we got?
Grandview is the most on upset alert of any 1 seed, but Grandview's going down. Grandview's going to win that football game. It's going to be close. Northmore's going to win as well, and I also think Ridgewood gets it done at home.
I like Northmore and Ridgewood, but I'm telling you right now, Colonel Crawford is getting the win this week.
Upset alert, but I got a difference there.
Yeah, and I think, we got the band coming through here. Let's go. Love it.
I love it.
But I'm going to go with, I got to actually pull up my sheet. I don't have this memorized. I'm going to go with the higher seeds in all 3. I think that they all get it done. Ridgewood, though, watch out. Upset alert against Newcomerstown. They struggled mightily last week against Mechanicsburg, and I think Newcomerstown, again, rivalry matchup. Those 2 teams have seen each other in the past. I think that we'll see what happens there. Then the big one down in Region 23, Waterford, Fort Fry. This is just such an amazing game on so many different levels. But can Waterford do it? For the first time in 18 goes, can they get it done?
First time in 18 goes, Bub. You're the streak expert. I'll leave it to you to have a break in the streak because I don't see it ending. I got Fort Fry getting it done at home against the Wildcats.
Yeah, all good streaks do come for an end, but it's not Fort Fry's streak coming to an end tonight. I like Fort Fry to get it done in a big way, just like the regular season.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a lot closer than the game of the regular season. I think it's going to come down to potentially the last possession. But I think that at the end of the day, Fort Fry's rushing attack is going to be able to drain the clock and win the football game by a low margin, 10 or less, but I do think that they'll win the game. Quick fire, Region 24. Portsmouth West, St. Bernard, and Rock Hill, Cincy Country Day.
I actually have St. Bernard going on the road and getting it done. Portsmouth West slipped up some big ways, and they've been very tested. Quick wins, or small wins against Chillicothe, and another 1-point win. I think St. Bernard gets it done.
I do think Portsmouth West has the wheels back on the ship, and I think they are going to get this win. The home field advantage is going to be the significant thing. But Rock Hill, their season ends.
Rock Hill's going down on the road.
Yeah, I actually think Rock Hill could battle a little bit, but I don't think that they'll win against Century Country Day. And I do think Portsmouth West get it done against St. Bernard, but in a tight game as well. Then let's do the 3 games here. I'll give you, we'll save the game of the week for after our last break. We're probably all in agreement. Takes care of PND. Miller, Steubenville Central, and then Trimble, Connaughton Valley. 2 very good games, 2 very close games in my opinion. Who we got?
I think Miller goes on the road and gets it done in a big way. I think that they get it done. Connaughton Valley over the Tomcats. I think the Tomcats too far of a haul, not enough pass offense. I think Connaughton Valley gets it done.
I'm going to agree with you on the Connaughton Valley. Unfortunate for Eastern Beaver fans, they're not going to get that that matchup that they really want and get that.
The revenge.
Yes,
the revenge
thank you. Gosh.
So I think that Connaughton Valley gets it done, but I'm concerned about this weather. I think if it is cold and blustery up there, that hurts your passing offense, and it would not. I'm going to go with Connaughton Valley, but it would not. I think if there was one game where I could go either way, like give myself a little and, I think it would be this one. I think this might be the closest game of the night, and I think I agree with Eric. I think Miller goes on the road and gets it done against Steubenville. Let's take our final break, and then it's time to pick the game of the week. Eastern versus South Gallia. We'll make our picks when we come back. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff, presented by General Mills.
Are you tired of dealing with malfunctioning garage doors? Look no further than True Track Garage Doors in Londonderry. Our team of experienced technicians specialize in garage door repairs, installation, and maintenance services. Whether you need a simple repair or a brand new garage door installation, we've got you covered. At True Track Garage Doors, we prioritize customer satisfaction and ensure that your garage door is functioning properly and safely. Contact us today at 740-596-1000 to schedule an appointment or request a free estimate. Call True Track to get you back on track.
Looking for the perfect venue to make your event unforgettable? Parks Edge Event Center in Jackson, Ohio now offers chef-driven catering that fits any budget. Whether it's an elegant wedding, a lively party, or a corporate meeting, our event specialists will craft the perfect venue for whatever is needed to make your gathering stand out among the rest. Book now by calling 740-919-EDGE or visiting us online at enjoyparksedge.com. That's 740-919-3343 and enjoyparksedge.com.
In every moment of need, there are those who stand ready to help, our local behavioral healthcare heroes. These dedicated professionals and partners work tirelessly to support our community's mental health, providing care, compassion, and hope to those who need it most. To the counselors, therapists, case managers, social workers, nurses, and all the amazing staff, we see you. Your commitment, your passion, and your endless patience make a difference every single day. To our community partners who collaborate and extend their hands in partnership, thank you for being the backbone of our shared mission. Together, you are making our community stronger, healthier, and more resilient. We're deeply grateful for all you do. This message is brought to you by the Gallia Jackson Meigs Alcohol, Drug, Addiction, and Mental Health Board, standing together with our local behavioral healthcare workforce and partners. For more information on the Adam H. Board or local treatment providers, visit our website, gjmboard.org, and like and follow us on Facebook.
Total Media Sports is your home for all sports across Southeast Ohio. Listen to the radio for shows like General Mills Football Fridays, the 740 Sports Show, and of course, local high school sports broadcasts. Our YouTube channel is home to live streams for 7 area high schools football games. And check out the Total Media Sports Facebook page for scores and live coverage of local sports. It's all on Total Media Sports.
The General Mills Company of Wellston, manufacturers of great items like Totino's Pizza and Totino's Pizza Rolls, are proud to be a part of the Southern Ohio community. The General Mills Company, just like its hard-working employees in Southern Ohio, are proud supporters of our area youth. The General Mills Company wishes good luck to all area high school teams this season. A message from your friends at General Mills Company in Wellston.
We got another minute with you here on Football Friday Kickoff, presented by General Mills. Thanks again to all our sponsors throughout the year. If this is the last go, I hope we get one more, and it might depend on how this game goes. Beaver Eastern taking on South Gallia. Obviously, this game means so much, guys. big-time matchup, winner to the regional semis in Region 27. Who we got?
Well, it is a Week 9 rematch down here in Eastern, one that saw it took place last time in the Crown City, and they're coming in from the Crown City with blonde heads. I think they're as ready as they've ever been.
I mean, why wouldn't you be?
But so is the entire community in Beaver. I think the Eagles get it done tonight at home against the South Gallia Rebels.
I will say, the Rebels brought an excellent community. You see all the signs over there on the bleachers, Eric?
Phenomenal.
It don't matter, though. Give me the Eastern Beaver Eagles to get it done. Hey, they got great food in Eastern Beaver.
They do. And look, I think this is going to be a good matchup. It may come down to the final possession again, just like it did 3 weeks ago. But I think Eastern goes to the regional semis for the first time in their history. But like Coach Tomlinson said, that ain't the goal. They want state championships, and they might go on the road. They're going to have to take down some tough teams if they want to do it. But I think they get on that road tonight. Again, thanks to everybody who tuned in on YouTube or anywhere on the radio. If this is the last time we do it, thanks so much for tuning in all season long. Hopefully we see you next week. We'll have to wait and see how the results go. But again, enjoy your games tonight wherever you're listening. We will catch you on Football Friday Night tonight. Until then, I've been Ethan Sergeant, Eric above land.